Hi, I'm Pamela Anderson, and one thing you don't know about me is you pretty much know everything by now. I don't think there's any secrets here. Never Google yourself. No, that would be disaster. No. The wildest night in Vegas that I can talk about? Well, I mean, I've had lots of wild nights in Vegas, but I used to love it when I used to go to the Palms. They would take the L out when I was in residence and call it Pams. David LaChapelle and I would go to Caesars to watch Elton John's show because David directed it. And he had videos of me dancing in the background to the Bitches Back. We used to walk around in our hotel robes, causing problems. Seems so long ago. I'm a grown-up now. David and I have a special relationship. My best boyfriend? I think it was when I was in kindergarten. Donald with the big ears. He was afraid of me. I mean, I have to say, Tommy was never a boyfriend though. He was like an immediate husband. Yeah. You can't say who's the worst and who's the best. They all were bad and good. I realized that Baywatch was like an international hit when I would travel to London and people would be, there was so many cameras and people falling over backwards, and I remember thinking, how do they even know that we're here? Like, it was just felt so surreal, but it was even more popular other places. I just remember they had me go do an international appearance, and I was in Uruguay and I almost got trampled. My clothes started getting ripped off. They almost rolled the van I was in and screaming, "I love you, Pamela." I thought, well, that doesn't feel like love. It feels crazy. The wildest thing I ever witnessed at the Playboy Mansion? It was just complete freedom. It was full of artists, philanthropists, intellectuals, chivalry, beautiful women. It was really an experience. And I think just it's too hard to come up with one thing, but it was all wild all the time, but in a very kind and generous, classy way, which I think is not what people want to imagine sometimes, but it was, you know, it's the end of an era. Never again.
Pamela Anderson!
Did you know anything at all about Mr. Lee before you met him?
When I first heard about the Pam and Tommy TV series, I think everyone just protected me from it. I wouldn't get involved. And that's, yeah. I don't know. I just think it was interesting to hear about it. Didn't make me happy. No. Assholes. Oh, not assholes, but just salt on the wound. Not necessary. Anyway, it happened. I've never seen the series and I've never seen too much of it, but it just looked like another Halloween costume to me. Everyone dresses up, like there was a lot of Halloween costumes over the last decade, so. I'm on my own little crazy little journey. I don't have a lot of influences, I guess. I think that's why I try and really think about what are the things that I love, what are the feelings I have, and what are the thoughts I'm thinking, instead of trying to look elsewhere for my inspirations, because really, I think we have to, what are your thoughts that nobody else has? That's what I like to think of. You know, just kind of keep digging deeper into yourself and find out how you think. I don't think there's very many Hollywood role models. I had a conversation with Jane Fonda not too long ago, actually. It was more about climate change. I didn't talk to her before Barbed Wire. She's fantastic. She's a beautiful woman. She's an activist. I think she's an important person on the planet. She's doing all she can for climate change. She's definitely one of my heroes. I blocked that stolen tape out of my life in order to survive. And now that it's all coming up again, I feel sick. I want to take control of the narrative for the first time. I'm a writer. I've written ever since I was little, journaling and poetry. And so it was really important to me to write my book myself. And that was the battle I was having with agents and publishers that, oh, no, you really can't write a book. I said, no, I can. I know I can. Just give me a shot. And so I started with a proposal, then it extended into a full book. And I like proving people wrong. Brandon can talk me into anything, first of all. He just thought it was time. He's like, Mom, you need to tell your story. And both boys agreed that it was time just to kind of tell my story from start to finish. I just said, sure. I said, you can have access to all the archives or whatever I have here. I said, I probably don't have much here, but then I found out that I had a lot there. So I just said I didn't want anything to do with it, that they could just do whatever they wanted. I said, I don't think I've done anything too bad. So full disclosure, full freedom for them to create whatever film they wanted. And Ryan and Brandon, I haven't seen it yet, so I'm a little nervous. It just seems kind of strange and self-serving. You're writing a book, about your life, and then you have the documentary about your life, and then you're doing promotion about you, and it just seems like it's a little overwhelming, and I'm a little bit afraid because you don't know how things are going to be taken. But I do think I have a story to tell. It was therapeutic for me, and hopefully it'll be inspiring to others.